Hi, welcome to a very special Halloween-themed battle. This is between me and my friend John, who goes by the DOS Matterhorn here on YouTube. His channel link will be in the description below. So I'll run through my team really quick. I've got all of my Pokemon named after kind of classic Halloween movies. The first one is Frankenstein the Trevenant. Then I've got Nosferatu the Noivern. And then Gengar, who is named Ghostbusters. And Tyranitar, who is named Godzilla. Then Mandibuzz, who's named the Birds. And Trevor the Greninja, named after Trevor the Toad from Harry Potter, Neville's pet toad. John's got Crobat, Chandelure, Honchkrow, Pumpkaboo, Snorlax, and Zoroark. And I think the Zoroark pick is really funny because he has it named Trick, and it's funny because he's like, it's a trick because he's got the illusion ability and he'll change. I believe he's mostly changing him into Crobat, which is a pretty clever little switch because Crobat has 4-time resistances to 2 of Zoroark's weaknesses, and then he's got a 2-time resistance to Fairy. So that's pretty nice coverage. Now, of course, the problem with Zoroark, though, is that he can't even really take neutral hits too well. So we'll see how that goes out. Let's go ahead and get into the battle here. Alright, so John is going to lead off with his Crobat, I believe, because he wants to U-turn. And I've got Frankenstein I'm starting off with. I'm not too worried about the U-turn, and I figure the safest thing to do is probably just go for a Leech Seed, because I know he might expect the Will-O-Wisp and go into his Fire type, so there's no going wrong with the Leech Seed, so I go ahead and get that off. And I believe that I go ahead and underestimate the power of the Chandelure here. I probably should have just switched right away into Tyranitar to take the Shadow Ball, but Trevenant is not going to be able to take that, and that was a big misplay on my part. But if I had gone into Tyranitar, it would have been no problem. So I'll bring him in now. And this is a Mega Dragon Dancing Tyranitar, so it's a pretty big threat. We did do a battle earlier where this guy ended up sweeping pretty handily. He's quite the beast. If you don't have a Mega Tyranitar, I recommend you try it out. So he brings in Max Repel, and I'm thinking, what's a Crobat going to do? I resist his stabs. Well, I resist flying, his main stab, and then, whatever, I'm just going to Dragon Dance. So I get a little greedy and decide I'm going to go for another Dragon Dance because I'm thinking this guy can't hurt me. And I'm ever so wrong because that's not a Crobat. That's not a Crobat. I see what you're up to there. So I can't take a Focus Blast, even in the sand. No, not going to work. So I'm thinking that the Zoroark at this point is probably some type of choice item, but I'm not too sure. So I bring out Noibat. If he's not Choice Scarf, then I'm going to outspeed him. If he is Choice Scarf, then he's going to have to go Focus Blast, and I don't care about a Focus Blast. So I just go for the Draco Meteor. It's just the most damage I can get off. And he brings in Treat the Snorlax, who's obviously eaten too many treats and is now a rather big boy. So I'm thinking that damage reveals that I'm Specs, but I'm not going to be able to finish him off, and he probably has some type of recovery like Rest. So I think it's time to switch, and I bring out Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz is a fat bird, I will tell you that much. So he gets off the Body Slam, no Paralyze, which is nice, and man, that really did not do very much damage. Mandibuzz is so fat. Don't understand it. It's just a vulture. Why is it so defensive? So I want to knock off his leftovers. Get a crit. Not bad. Not bad. Goes for another Body Slam, and still no para. Sandstorm's over. And I'm still getting my leftovers, whereas he is not. So that's good for me. Get off the Foul Play. Let's see, is this going to fish him off? Not quite. So close. Can you get the para? So if he can get the para here, then he can outspeed me and go for Rest this upcoming turn. But he does not get it. So that's too bad for him. That was like 3 or 4 Body Slams and no Paralyze. Which, you know, that's really the reason why you run Body Slam over, like, Return, is because you have a good chance of paralyzing people, but apparently not today. Not that I'm complaining. I'm fine with Mandibuzz being out here, being a beast. So, Cinderella, the Pumpkaboo, comes in, and I'm figuring this guy's probably going to Will-O-Wisp, and I don't really have anybody that I'm, like, happy to get a Will-O-Wisp on. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get a nice strong knockoff off, and then take the Will-O-Wisp, and I'll knock off his item. Or did I go for a Foul Play? I think I went for a Foul Play. Probably should have gone for the knockoff. I think I go for a knockoff now. Pumpkaboo is a cool Pokemon. I like him. I like his, like, hair hands or whatever's going on there with the, like, little dangly. And he's also got the emo hair too, so that's a plus. Trevor the Toad's coming through. Greninja is so powerful. And so he's going to Protect, which is going to fail because I switched. So I'm thinking I can either Dark Pulse or Ice Beam, and either one is probably going to kill this guy off. He goes for a Protect on my Dark Pulse. And I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I don't like, if somebody like Protect Scouts, I like switching up the moves then. But John knows this, because he's battled me a lot. But this time I went for Ice Beam. Just expecting, you know, I figure I showed him the Dark Pulse, he might bring in something expecting the Dark Pulse. So I go for the Ice Beam, and he brings out not a Crobat. And I know it's not a Crobat. And so I'm thinking he's going to go for a Focus Blast or a Flamethrower. So I bring out Mandibuzz, mostly just as death fodder. Because Mandibuzz has done some work already. That doesn't do too much damage though. And I get the leftovers. So I'm thinking he's probably going to kill me with this next one. But just in case, go for a Roost. So Flamethrower comes through, and I live on 2 HP. Get off the Roost. And that puts him in a tough spot, because he's locked into Flamethrower, I believe. I'm pretty sure he's Specs or Scarf or something. So, he's got to go for the Flamethrowers. He can't go for a Stab anyway, because I resist it. So he's getting out of here. I think I go for another Roost. I kind of wish that I had just gone straight for a knockoff here. Expecting to switch. And even if he didn't switch, then I could have knocked off whatever item the Zoroark was holding and done a decent amount of damage, because that thing's really frail. So I'm like, I'm in here, and I know Dante's a beast. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I brought in Mandibuzz to sack him off in the first place anyway. So, you know, if he kills me, whatever. If not, I'm going to get a nice knockoff off and get rid of his item, do some nice damage, because it's super effective. But alas, not today. But Trevor the Toad is here, ready to Scald. I feel like Scald should do reduced damage to fire types, you know, because it's like hot water. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I mean, I'm not complaining, Scald's pretty sweet. A lot of people run like Hydro Pump or Surf on their Greninjas. Okay, so there's the Zoroark. I live the Dark Pulse, even though I'm not Dark type at that point. And I take him out with a Life Orb Scald from the Greninja. So what I was saying is, I usually, if there is a more accurate option, I tend to edge towards that, if they're both kind of valid. Okay, so here comes the Sucker Punch. I probably should have predicted that and not let him get a Moxie boost. That was probably a misplay, looking back, but you know, you never know. I think I went for Ice Beam. I probably should have just switched, expecting it. So Ghostbusters comes out. At this point, I'm running low on pokes. Okay, so I go for the Substitute, expecting, you know, just testing the water for a Sucker Punch. He doesn't go for it. He goes for the Brave Bird. So now we're in this guessing game of, do I go for the Substitute? Does he go for the Sucker Punch? I could theoretically try and stall him out of Sucker Punches, because I can get off more subs than he can get off Sucker Punches. Well, you know, that doesn't matter. If he goes for a Sucker Punch and I go for a sub, then that's over. I don't remember how much PP Brave Bird has, but anyway, I get lucky here. I go for Focus Blast. He goes for Brave Bird, and I don't miss the Focus Blast, and I take him out with one Focus Blast. These are all things that surprise me. So I got a little lucky there, and he brings out, this actually is the Crobat. He's going to outspeed me, of course, and go for a Brave Bird, and I'm not going to be able to take that because, oh, Look at that. I take it, and I live on 4 HP. Gengar, what are you doing? You're supposed to be frail. So I get a nice little Shadow Ball off. Doesn't get the defense drop or anything, but hey, you know what? Damage is damage. Free damage, not going to complain. Wasn't expecting to get it. So he comes in for another Brave Bird. This is obviously not going to do very much recoil at all because I only have 12 HP, so he's going to get like, what, like 6 points of damage, and then he'll most of that back with, he'll all of that back with the Black Sludge. So I just have Noivern left, so it's going to be a big bat fight here. He's got his Max Repel bat, and I've got my Noivern bat. So I outspeed him, which confuses me. I thought he was just going to outspeed me and go for a Brave Bird. I figured I would be able to take one and then finish him off with a Flamethrower. But I outspeed him, and then he goes for a Roost, which really surprised me. So I'm Spec, so I'm locked into the Flamethrower. I just went for the Flamethrower because it was, I didn't want to miss a Brave Bird. Alright, I'm sorry, I didn't want to miss a Draco Meteor, and that's really good that I didn't go for Draco, because there's a good chance I would have missed. I would have been dropping special attack all this time, and he definitely would have, well, I guess actually if I had gone for Draco Meteor, it would have just killed him that first round. But you know what? You don't know these things when you're going into the battle. So this part gets a little bit stally. It's a lot stally. So I'll probably try and see if I can speed this up. So at this point, he is out of Roost, and he goes for a Brave Bird. And so he's burnt, so it's not going to do too much. But judging by that damage, yeah, I could have taken one, even without him being burnt. So, yeah, so that's the battle. Thank you guys for watching. Check out John's channel. Happy Halloween, and also I want to say happy birthday to John. It is his birthday today, and that's sweet. So go wish him a happy birthday because he's a cool guy. Alright, thanks a lot, and I hope you have a great day.